Hey, Assalamu alaikum, Imam Abdullah.
Are you okay?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. Let's just give a couple of minutes and then we will kick off.
Okay.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to another Friday's reminder. I'll hand over to the Sheikh as we are a little bit behind, just waiting for people to dial into the call. So over to you, Sheikh Abdullah.
Okay, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, today I just want to give a quick reminder about, obviously we are all looking forward to going back to the mosques. Some mosques have opened partially, others have remained closed. We will discuss this, I think, next Saturday. Oh no, we'll discuss it tomorrow. And look at what are the issues, what are the contentions, what can be done. So tomorrow, inshallah, 8 p.m. we'll discuss that. I want to, tomorrow also is the 25th anniversary of the genocide that took place in European soil, in Bosnia. It started, 1993, and the genocide in 1995 that took place against the Muslim Bosnians by the Serbs. This is very, most of us probably on this call, all of us, obviously were alive. We probably saw it on the news. We've had people engage with us who experienced. I had brothers who studied with me in certain parts of the world who lived through the horror of this genocide. After the Holocaust, the world said never again. But unfortunately, it did happen again. It could have been avoided, but the powers that be were not able to or did not stop this. Thousands and thousands of Muslims were butchered. Thousands and thousands of Muslims were murdered and killed. Women, the horror stories, who were even pregnant, the Serbs, they played games with them. Women who were pregnant, they said, they competed against themselves, and they said, what do you think is the gender of the baby? And they took knives and cut the belly of the pregnant women open. That's how horrific the situation was. I don't want to go into, I'm not a political expert. I don't want to go into the reasons and whatnot. But it happened, Yugoslavia dismantled, and it stemmed from there, really. But the challenge is really, yes, is political, but the challenge was also people. There were a lot of hatred for Muslims and Islam. There was a lot of hatred for Muslims and Islam. In fact, some of the brothers I know, they said that it was quite strange that they would mingle with their neighbors who were non-Muslims. They would, befriend them, and they were like family, right? Very, very close knit, very family. All of a sudden, even their neighbors turn against them, literally. And imagine your neighbor that you've been, interacting with, your friends, and they become families. All of a sudden, they um, began to attack the Muslims. And some of my friends who narrated this story, they said that we couldn't believe it. They're the people who share our food, share our celebrations and festivities, buy and give them presents. All of a sudden, they become an open enemy for us. Not only that, they began to kill our babies and do all sorts of things. So it's it was all of a sudden for some of them. They had to flee. They went to various different places. They went to a place called Srebrenica, and this was like a safe haven, which was under the protection of the UN. But unfortunately, the UN let down the Bosnians, and they would not. They did not. They left, and the Serbs came in and really massacred them. I mean, and some of them were some of the attacks were captured or on video. I mean, I'm not sure on YouTube and other places they would allow these stuff to take place to air now. But I saw some of the images back in 94, 95. Anyone who watching will probably give you nightmares. Even till today, there are people, and what happened was that this when obviously the world, America, UK, and others, they went in, or they said something about it. They went to investigate. The Serb, what they had done was that they buried, like what happened in the Holocaust in Nazi Germany, when they would bury the people in groups in large burial holes. And what they done was that they in order for them not to be caught out, they took some of the bodies out and placed them in other, buried them in other places. This basically, they spread them out. So, a person's hand may be in one place, and person's leg would probably be a different place. Literally, up until today, every year in July, there's commemoration on that, and every single day, every year, they find new bodies, and they find the hand there, and a head there, and a leg there, and a part of the body over here. Every year they pray janazah, and there are people whose children have been murdered. The mothers and the fathers are still alive, and I went there a few years ago, and spoke to some of their parents, and you can't help but get emotional. They're still grieving. They're still traumatized, right? And I don't know how long it will take them to overcome this pain and difficulty. And one of the reasons, because they've not been until a person gets justice, that person will not be able to overcome. So they have not got justice. They still fight. The people who murdered the leaders, they're still at large. Some of them are still at large. And some of the friends and the mothers that we spoke to when we went there, and they're like, we see, we can see them on TV still. Those who ordered the massacre, the genocide against us, we see them. They are roaming around free. Some of them who will be in prison, that they're living a lavish life in prison. It's not prison. It's like it's home arrest. So they've not received justice. They're not getting justice. So their trauma, their challenges, difficulties still present. And it is important for us to kind of remember this every single year. Like remember the Holocaust, that anything can happen. I'm not saying this will happen in the UK. Hopefully, inshallah, it will not happen, and we have to fight that it doesn't happen. But it's happening other places of the world. Look in China, the Uyghur Muslims, over 1 million Muslims there in concentration camps. In Assam, in Palestine, yeah, in Syria, right? Kashmir is still happening. The world keeps on saying never again, but it's still happening because justice has not prevailed. As Muslims, as believers, what can we, living in the UK, what can we do, right? Number one, what can we do when we read and learn about what happened in history and then what's happening now, in particular in Bosnia? Number one, we have to educate ourselves. Right? It's very, very important that the Prophet said, "Man lam yahtam bi umur al-muslimin falaysa minhum." Whoever does not, whoever does not concern himself of the affairs of the believers, he's not from them. Now we have to show importance. Yeah, so we have to learn about the tragedy, learn about the horror, learn about the genocide that took place. And once we understand, you know, history, then hopefully we will avoid making the same mistakes and difficulties that we face at present. So learning about the history, learning, if you can visit Bosnia. Obviously now we're not allowed to, we're not able. But once the lockdown is lifted and the virus has been suppressed, inshallah, go and visit Bosnia. It's good to travel, but help them in the economic struggle. Help them understand, support them however you can. So learn about the history, learn about what is happening. Number two, do what we can. Yeah, we should do what we can as mosques, as people. In every year we should participate in the remembering the genocide that took place in Bosnia, right? Not downplaying it, like some projects that are out there who are downplaying what happened, but really remembering what happened and giving a helping hand for those organizations and projects who are trying to support charities who are trying to support our brothers and sisters in Bosnia, right? Because they will ask us on the day of judgment if we have not done anything, right? If you have not, even thought about it, they will ask us, where were you? You say you're a Muslim, you say you're a believer, you say you want to, you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but where were you when we were being attacked? Where were you when we needed your help? Where were you when we wanted psychological help even? When we needed your help the most, where were you? When you were living in your apartments and houses and mansions in London and not worrying about these kind of stuff, and they only worry about small minor issues. But where were you? So they will ask us, and we have to have an answer for them. It will not be enough, right? But at least we will have some answer. So raising awareness, learning about it, raising awareness, supporting them directly or indirectly as much as possible. This we could do. One other thing that number three, one other thing that we can really benefit from the people of Bosnia, of their resilience, subhanallah, right? Their pain and their torture, their difficulties, the barbarism they went through. A lot of them they've come out. I mean, look, if you read the history of Yugoslavia in that region, communism was rife. Some of the story they would tell my colleagues and my friends. They would say, look, we would not be able to. We're not allowed to read the Quran. We're not allowed to go to the maktabs, mosques. Yeah, religion was banned, right? Religion was completely banned. So they survived communism. Islam survived communism, and Islam survived the massacre. Why? Because they've got resilience, right? They had iman, right? They had iman, and this is what we can learn from them, right? Difficulties and challenges will come our way. The difficulties that we face, challenge that we face in the UK is nothing. We can't compare the challenge and difficulty that they faced, and they're still facing day in, day out, right? But what we can learn from them, as I said, is that the iman, the resilience, the faith that they have in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that all of the things that they went through, they were able to still overcome, and they're still struggling, but they're still surviving. It's a lesson from us that as long as we are believers, as long as we have faith, as long as we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is controlling all of our affairs, right? He is controlling all of our affairs, right? Every situation that we are in, He is the one who's controlling. Yes, He's given us free choice, but He's the one who's controlling. He's the one allowing this to happen, right? And knowing that God loves us, knowing that He will protect us, knowing that He will take care of us, that gives us an extra boost and iman to persevere, to be patient. Like Yusuf Yaqub alayhi salam said, right? فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. When his when his other sons, vanished Yusuf alayhi salam, wanted to get rid of Yusuf alayhi salam. When they came back and they made all the excuses for themselves, he said, "Fasabrun jameel," right? I will show resilience and patience, right? I don't have anyone else, right? You can plot, you can murder, you can do what you want, right? My first point of contact, or my first action, is to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be patient and go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Show perseverance and complain my issues only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So having resilience, having patience is utmost important. Number four, as I said, practically, which is support charities and organizations that support our brothers and sisters in Bosnia, not just in Bosnia, but all over the world. In particular, this reminder is about Bosnia. But what can we do here in the UK to prevent anything similar to happen in the UK, like what happened in Bosnia? We know Islamophobia is rife. Islamophobia is increasing, right? Muslims are being targeted day and night in the media, right? Muslims are being, demonized, dehumanized, every single day, right? So it starts off, wherever you see a genocide, yeah. If you read the story and history of the Holocaust before, right? Before, it didn't really happen overnight, right? The media at that time, before, right? They began to dehumanize our Jewish brothers and sisters. They began to look at them as subhuman or not human, right? Through the media, the way they would portray them, and this is happening now. And whenever the genocide takes place, before it, human beings are dehumanized. But when you dehumanize a person, when you make a person an object, a thing, right? You lose any empathy for that person or for that people. When the media, puts out headlines that these are cockroaches, like the immigrants and the migrants, they are cockroaches, right? These psychological attempt to dehumanize them, right? Because when you dehumanize a person, other people said, "Oh, these are not human beings. These are not like us. We are honorable. Yeah, we are good. These are not human beings. The vile, the evil, the rapists, the predators, and whatnot." And once a small minority of people do that, it's a domino effect. Psychologically, people really begin, because peer pressure, the way we perceive things is taken or stemmed from the environment, the political, social environment that we reside in. Yeah. So at the moment, it's not very far-fetched to say that Muslims are being dehumanized. Islam is being dehumanized. Yeah. Islam is being labeled as a terrorist organization. Muslims are extremists and terrorists and whatnot. Right. So we have to fight this. Yeah. Yeah. The way we fight this, we are resilient, firm in our religion. Yeah. We are not shy away from it. We are confident Muslims. Yeah, we are confident Muslims. Yeah, we learn about them, we preach our deen, we convey our deen to others, right? And we attack, we challenge anyone, or any group of people who attack us or try to dehumanize us, right? Whether it be articles or lectures, or whatever, we challenge. Yeah, we have to go on the attack also sometimes. Yeah, and this is not, and say this is not on, right? We are human beings, right? This is God's land, God's earth, and we are here to exist. We're here to do the same thing as you are doing, right? We are no different. We are no different. Yes, our clothing, our colors, and our way we do things might be slightly different, but essentially inside we are the same. Whether we are black or white or brown, Muslim, non-Muslim, we're the same. We want to go on holiday. We want to learn. We want to study. We want to become prosperous in this dunya, and we can all survive. So, and to subhanallah, the wider Muslim society are yearning for this. The wider non-Muslim society they want Muslims to live up to their names, live up to the principles and the values of Islam. Once we do that properly, collectively, not individually, but collectively as a whole, that's the only way we can be able to challenge them. And subhanAllah, it's not about pouring in a lot of money and whatnot. Yes, it's important. Material resources are important. But what is more important is the human resources. Yeah, the human capital. The Sahaba did not have resources, material resources, wealth and whatnot, but they had each other. They had faith, they had God, and they sacrificed, and they had each other. They had values, and they had principles. Yeah, and if we want to establish, if we want to survive in this land, in the UK, we must do this. We have to be active. We have to be conscious Muslims. We have to be active in what we are doing. So start off in your local area. Yeah, start in your local area. Be active in your mosques. I know I say this often, but it's really, really important. Everything relates back to this: being an active Muslim, being a conscious Muslim, and then being active in your locality. Do what you can to spread Islam within yourself, within your family members, and then within the wider society. Yeah, but we cannot do this until we rectify ourselves first. And rectification is not it's an ongoing process. Some people assume that, how can I give dawah, or how can I do this or do that? I'm not a scholar. I'm not. No, developing ourselves is an ongoing process, right? Rectifying ourselves, purifying ourselves, learning will not stop until we die. That's the only time that we will stop learning, and we should continue to learn, continue to develop ourselves, continue to uplift ourselves, right? And that's I think, for me, it seems very simple and but sometimes the simple thing is the most effective thing. The most simple thing is the most effective thing, right? So just to summarize, to learn about the tragedy that happened recently in Bosnia. Help them any way you can, right? Learn from the spirituality. Be equip yourself spiritually, mentally, intellectually, right? And challenge the stereotypes, challenge the Islamophobia, challenge the anti-Muslim hatred that's rife in our societies, rife in our communities, right? And to just in sum, the only way we could do that is by implementing Islam. The only way we can do that is not through joining this party or that party, or following different stuff. No, it's not that, right? The only way is by approaching Islam holistically and internalizing our belief, internalizing Islam within our hearts and mind, our psyche, and then manifesting that in our behavior and in our actions. And that's the only way, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to inshallah carry on the flag of Islam from our predecessors. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the resilience and the fortitude to give dawah to ourselves, our Muslim brothers and sisters, and also the wider community, inshallah. I'd end here, inshallah. If you have any comments or questions, we'll take 10 minutes.
Ameen. Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, as always. It's a beautiful reminder. As we wait for questions, actually, just a quick comment from me, because I've also traveled to Bosnia. And actually, one of the things that we should all do as Muslims, I think I'm a firm believer in this, is investing our money back into the communities, especially ones who have suffered in this way. We make all these trips around the world, but Bosnia is still kind of touching distance. It's quicker to get to. I don't know if it's quicker to get to still, because I'm not sure there's direct flights there, but there is ways
now
to get
now there is apparently.
Oh, mashallah. So there's direct flights from the UK.
There's a company called Fly Bosnia. I believe there are direct flights now.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Yeah, so it's not far, right? And mashallah, honestly, being there, it's a beautiful place. It's so naturally beautiful. The people are so open, welcoming. And it's a great way to learn history as well, because doing the walking tours and just meeting and talking to people there, you'll learn a lot about what happened, and investing and bringing money back into the community directly is a blessing as well.
Jazakallah khair for reminding me. I should have mentioned this, but look, we all love to go on holidays, right? Obviously now we're not able to, but when we are able to, why go Dubai? I hear people want to go Dubai. Dubai is an artificial land. Like it didn't exist like 20, 30 years ago. It was desert, right?
Yeah.
Why go to this other countries? People go to Ibiza, yeah. People go to Mauritius, and I'm not saying it's haram to go. I'm saying go to these places. You have fun time, you have nice time, but you also help the economy, right? If you have that intention, you will be rewarded, right? If you have that intention, you'll get the rewards in this dunya and the hereafter. Also, you learn history as you said, right? So go on holidays, yeah. Go to places like Bosnia, and Turkey, right? In particular, Bosnia, because they really need our help, yeah. They're gonna spend money, right? You're going to spend money on holiday, on flights and hotels and trips and excursions and whatnot. Go to Bosnia, yeah. And and with that intention, you will see on the day of judgment, right? You will have a justification, inshallah, right? So like I had this intention, I have little resources, I lack resources, but this is something that I intended, I did, and hopefully that will be rewarded, inshallah. So you're absolutely right. Now we should go, and once the virus is done, we should organize a trip, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay. Any questions from anyone on the other topics and conversation elements? MashaAllah, Sheikh, we had around 10 viewings on YouTube, so that's always. I've asked if anyone has any questions there, but I imagine they're watching on the smart TV these days. So I don't know if anyone's going to be able to type out.
The question. We'll go to that place, inshallah, when past last year, Croatia, Bosnia, and outside to go. Yeah, I really encourage Bosnia. As Brother Ovey said, beautiful place, yeah, beautiful people, right? Rich history, rich. I mean, if you look at the Islamic history, the Ottomans used to rule that land. The Ottomans used to rule that land, right? So there's a lot of rich history that you will learn, right? You will see, and what was so amazing and awe-striking, yeah. You go to like Sarajevo, and you travel and you walk through the streets and the roads of Bosnia,
Yeah.
right? You can still see the bullet holes on the buildings.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's a good thing that they kept them. You can. It's still
a reminder.
It's a reminder, and it's still really vivid in the hearts and minds of people there. Literally, you can see bullet holes, yeah, shrapnels, traces on the buildings, on the pillars. Literally, in Sarajevo, we see on the news and videos when it came out that people were literally walking on the street and they were massacred with machete knives and machine guns and whatnot, yeah, and men and women. So it's horrific. It's horrific. I've not done justice to it. But please go there and don't go when you go there. There are some groups in the UK they're trying to water down what happened. Yeah, they're trying to water down what happened. If you go there, right, go to people who understand. Yeah, one organization that I know of is very good, like Bosnia Heritage Trust. There's another organization like Srebrenica, which is government funded, funded by the government and whatnot. Yani they're okay, but to be honest, it's not something that I would. It's not a project that I would encourage you to go with, right? So please visit them, inshallah, and then see for yourself what's happening, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, just so if there's no other questions from anyone, as I say that, there's a question in Q&A. Is it or will the masjid be operating a food bank? Ismat, we will discuss that because we did have the food bank that was running in Penge, which we were supporting, but we haven't had any communication from them on if it's been open yet. So need to chase it up. So as soon as I get some news, I will share that to the group. Okay, if no other questions, Jazakallah khair for joining everyone. Again, just a reminder, tomorrow is Saturday, question and answers with Sheikh Abdullah. We will also be discussing the decision and the conversation around the opening of the mosque. So please join. Again, it'll be an open forum, so you can also ask your questions as well. And if you have any other questions on any other topics, please bring them along as well. Also, as it's Friday, please donate to the masjid, and brother who's Amir has given the link on the chat, and he's also reminded everyone to see a class on Sunday 8 p.m. so please join that as well. This is a valuable opportunity, especially with it being online, to be able to join remotely. So even if you aren't able to leave your home, you can still dial in and listen and participate. So please join that as well.
Jazakallah khair. Allah bless you, inshallah. See you tomorrow. Catch up with you tomorrow and Sunday, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuhu.